Hey, everybody, welcome back. I know we've had a crazy last week. The country is completely in turmoil here in America. I don't know what you all are hearing in other countries, but kind of getting back into a vein of what I was planning on talking about originally. I had been looking at some stories where people had been posting that and these are people that are actually gainfully employed to a certain degree. One of them was even a nurse who is now openly admitting online she doesn't have enough money left over at the end of the month to be able to pay her rent. I believe she lives in Florida. I'm not going to dox this person in any way, shape, or form. I completely understand the position she's coming from. And after I think maxing out her credit card, she has now resorted to stealing food. In fact, I have now seen a number of different points where people who have jobs, some of them don't have jobs, are reduced to doing literally whatever they can to try to survive. And I'm curious how many of you feel like you are just under the gun completely? Like it never lets up. Trying to keep a roof over your head, or maybe you're on the verge of losing that. How many of you are noticing that the cost of living, the cost of food, the cost of your utilities just keeps going up and up and up, and your pay never goes up? Now, this might sound like it's just complaintive, just like I am harping on the same old subject, but this keeps getting worse and worse. My personal feeling is that it is an intentional thing, that it's an attempt to basically crush the middle class to a certain point. I'm curious what your opinions are, because I do hear back from certain people that constantly say, well, this is made up, you're blowing it out of proportion. This is fear mongering. I want to hear from you people that are watching this. How many of you are experiencing exactly what I'm describing? Because if you're experiencing exactly what I'm describing, then I want to hear your story in the comments. I want you to help me push back against the people that are claiming that this is just blown out of proportion. This is just crazy. You're just harping on negativity, because this is happening all over the place. And the worst part about it is that it's just getting worse. And here's the most important point of all of this: if we don't have quality of life, if we don't have the ability to keep ourselves afloat financially, to be able to build some form of a stable life. I'm not even talking about living rich, multi millions and billions of dollars. We're talking about just existing where you're not absolutely under the gun 24/7, to where it is crushing you to the point to where you feel like you need therapy all the time or something like that, just because you can't get a break. There are people out there running around doing everything they can to either be in denial of this truth, or even worse, deliberately trying to cover it up. I want to hear from you in the comments. How many of you are noticing this, that the cost of groceries is completely out of control? Additionally, I have been looking at some videos of people talking about going to job fairs and looking into what the situation was with all of that. And a couple of different videos that have popped up, they went into the job fair, and it was a job fair where no one was hiring. They literally were collecting information from everybody that was there. None of the companies represented there were actually hiring anybody. That is disturbing. A job fair where no one is hiring. I keep hearing about this stuff all over the place. They want to collect your information. They want to probably sell your data to somebody else. And they've lured you in there with the promise of potentially trying to find some form of employment, probably not even a job that's even going to pay your bills and actually allow you to have any benefits, most likely. And it turns out there are not even any jobs available at the job fair. What a world we live in. Brings up another question. How many of you are in the market to try and get a job? You're out there searching. I have heard of so many layoffs in the trucking industry, in the medical field. There are people that are helping out with basically orderlies, people that are nurses that have been cut back from hospitals because they can't afford them. It really makes me wonder how things are going to be should you need to go in for a hospital visit. There isn't going to be enough staff there because they've been cutting back because their way of making money is having less people. Their way of having less overhead is having less people. That's concerning. How many of you are in the market looking for a job and experiencing something similar? I want to hear from you in the comments as well. I get tons of naysayers coming at me, people telling me, look, stop talking about this or stop acting like we're ever going to do anything about any of this because nothing's ever going to change and nothing's ever going to happen. I guarantee one thing to you. If you ignore talking about it and you ignore the thought of ever doing anything about it because you get so focused on a conspiracy theory that you basically neutralize yourself, then I guarantee to you nothing will ever get done. There are countries such as Nepal where there are open revolutions happening because of the level of corruption that's going on. In Great Britain, of course, there are people disputing how many people are actually at these protests, but what's abundantly clear, whether or not you agree with every aspect of everything that's going on in those particular situations, is that we have to stand up for ourselves to attempt to fight back against all of this. And the first step in doing that is openly having discourse about it. Talking, saying out loud what is really going on out there. Because when you listen to the news, everything's completely fine. You listen to people that are attached to all of that, and they come onto my channel and they send me emails and they tell me, Steve, you're just blowing this out of proportion. You're fear mongering. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Everything's just fine. Why are you trying to make it seem like things are bad? I don't even know what planet those people are living on. But I want to hear from you in the comments and fill in and tell me what you think about this. Are you having the same trouble with job fairs, trying to get gainful employment anywhere? Are you having the same type of trouble with just trying to survive in the current economy because you just don't make enough anymore? And I've had people ask about the situation with, like, say, boomers. And now I don't blame boomers as a group because there are many, many boomers out there that are dealing with these same problems that we're dealing with, that didn't know that this was coming either. And understandably so. They weren't trying to screw anybody over, but I can't tell you how many of them that I've now encountered, heard from, something happened, and they're now living in a car. In their 70s, living in a car. In their 70s, going into a grocery store and breaking down crying because they don't have enough money to be able to purchase the groceries that they need. Somebody who's a grandmother. And my heart goes out to that because I can't stand the idea of that even happening. I can't stand that thought at all. That basically we live in an affluent country where most everybody is becoming the working poor and everybody's completely screwed over except a very, very, very small margin of people. And this is what we're being reduced to. This is the very thing that we need to push back against. Now, as far as how to do it, I would say one of our biggest things we would have to deal with is our own Congress. The level of corruption there is beyond crazy. Beyond it. And I wouldn't even, actually, I would have to go into an entire other video just to begin to address that. And I've mentioned it in other videos before. But at any rate, that's all I have for tonight. I want to hear your stories. If you're interested in joining my group, I have one on school. It's going to be in the description below. We welcome you there. It's a free community. I do have a course there also on if you want to learn how to start your own YouTube channel and do the same type of thing I'm doing. If you're looking for a side income from that, it might be able to help you. You might have your own unique view and take on things. And I absolutely encourage everybody that's interested in doing that, dive in, learn about it, start your own channel, even join my course. To do that, I'll walk you through it personally. That way you can have a shot at doing this too, because Lord knows we all need to try our best to not just get our voices out there, but if you need to, get another source of income from something like, say, YouTube or an online business. Because let's be realistic here, local economies are having trouble all over the place. Even where I'm at, I'm noticing it too. But yes, join my group if you feel like it. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're able to boost this or give it a few bumps up, I'm trying to remember the name of that particular feature now. Uh, but if you're able to do that, definitely do that as well. It helps get this video out there and gets more people talking about this. So I look forward to talking to you all again soon.